result than last year.
It was. I mean, but, last year I thought we played well and through all three periods, and as Joel said, we didn't get the result that we wanted. Today, at a really slow start, right off the opening draw, just our defense overhandling. I don't know if we were nervous. We had some young guys back there, and three guys that are really freshmen back there on the blue line for us. I thought they really kind of showed their nerves early on in the first 5 or 6 minutes and couldn't get anything going. But we still had some great scoring chances. I think John had a great scoring chance. Jeff Kubiak had a great chance, and we knew going in the game, knowing guy from coaching at Princeton, they love to force pucks to net. It's part of their strategy, part of their philosophy. There's a lot of pucks to the net, and that's why Mitch started tonight. Hayden had a shutout in his last game, but Mitch is much better right now at controlling rebounds, and that's why we went with him throughout the course of the evening, and he did a good job of that tonight of not giving second opportunities around the net. So it was a good job by our team, coming back out in the second and play a little bit more focused. And that tip that John Knicely scored on is something that we've been working on an awful lot, and we're starting to see dividends. But pay with it. It's a Brown. We had 3 goals with guys standing in front of the net tonight. The first one is from a tip in the high slot, and so it's getting there. And it was a good. After the first period, it was looking pretty rough, but good job by the kids relaxing in the second and third and getting the job done.
It seemed like a really clean first period, no penalties. Was there any aspect of maybe two relatively unfamiliar opponents kind of feeling each other out, unlike an ECAC game, for example?
No, I don't think so. I mean, look at it. Penalty minutes are a really deceiving statistic in college hockey. We had a big scrum after one of our games against someone, and we got a ton of penalty minutes. We're like second in the country. But if you look at power plays that we have to kill, we're in the bottom, probably bottom 10 teams in the country. I think that guys' teams have always been very disciplined, so there wasn't a whole lot. There was a couple of big hits in the game. I was surprised the kid came back after the 5-minute major. He kind of wobbled off the ice, and all of a sudden I looked up and he's on the ice again. So I was kind of surprised to see him after that. The penalty that we took, and I didn't think Johnny meant to hit him. I think he was, had a head of steam up and ran into him, but. So that was a relatively clean game. Just a couple of pushing and shoving, but it was both teams were pretty disciplined. We only had one power play. I think they had 3.
Coach, you're not the highest scoring team in the country. You feel like your guys are figuring out how they have to win games now?
But we're going to be comfortable with that. We're never going to be the highest scoring team. And I think that our guys came in and I asked them a few weeks ago, look around the locker room, and how many guys were top 10 scorers on your junior teams? And I think we only had 3 or 4 guys put their hands up. And I said, well, just be comfortable with who we are. We don't have to win games 5-2, but we do have to be comfortable in 0-0 games and 1-1 games, and take the opportunity to score the 3rd goal or the 4th goal when it comes. But I think one of the keys to our success now, we were more patient. In the first period, we were up on our toes chasing people in their offensive zone. I thought we got above people, and that's where some of our great scoring chances came from, was to be a little bit more patient in the second period. So it's getting there. I think we can produce offense, but we got to produce it in our way. And that the hard way, you look around the country, and it's absolutely amazing to see some of the statistics and some of the teams across the country that are, one of their goaltenders are 1.7 below goals against average, and some teams are, I looked up the other day and I saw the statistics. I don't look at them very often. I couldn't believe the teams that were beside us, that were down in the bottom 10 in the country producing offense. It's real surprising, but it's tough to score nowadays.
So you're talking to John right after he scored his goal. Is that something you've been working with him on in particular?
No, it was great. John was out last week. I didn't play for us last week. Got hurt. We went over to Europe, and he had a great trip over in Europe. He had a couple goals, and he had the offense, and then he got dinged up, and it was out. And so it was good to see him score a goal. He has that offensive abilities in himself. It was good to see him score on a tip and get rewarded for the hard work. And so we got a lot of guys that are getting their first goals. Because we haven't scored a whole lot, but they're figuring it out. And Johnny's one of those kids. And you look at the second goal we scored with a great play by Joel Lowry. But John Knicely helped create that offense, but because he jumped in the play and they had to cover him, and John McCarron found Joel. And then very unselfish in the third goal by those guys to not to force it and to get the 3rd goal to give us some breathing room. So it's coming, and I'm proud of our guys, because everybody has left for dead a couple weeks ago And then, even yourself, you start to wonder, are we ever going to score? I mean, who's going to get it in the back of the net for us? But it's coming.
Two of your top returning scorers from last year were John McCarron and Joel Lowry, two guys who put in points on the board today. How important are those two guys to being reliable to be able to get you some goals most games to this team's offensive success?
Well, it's huge for them, but also continue to get balanced scoring for us. And so Joel did one time. John McCarron had 3 points in the game, and I think he had three. Looking at it, so he had 3 points in the game. Was a huge game for him, and he's been frustrated because he hasn't scored. But we talked about those guys that just getting back and just following the process and stop worrying about who's scoring or what their statistics are. Just play hard. And I thought those guys have done a great job providing that leadership. And then lo and behold, they've just focused on the process, and now things are going in for them. And they're not worried about the end result. They're worried about how they're going to get there. And they're good leaders that way. And it's also producing individual results for them.
And for John being the captain of this team, what stood out to you from this game to this weekend of how John led this team?
Well, I think the second goal was a great example of him coming in and not forcing it. 2 weeks ago, he would have probably thrown it in the net, just took a wild shot. He held on to it, and made a great play. And that I said confidence in himself and confidence in our team. It leads to those kind of extra poise to make that kind of play. So it was good to see.
Your team obviously only gave up 1 goal defensively, but Penn State put 38 shots at goal, attempted almost 80. What did you think of your team's performance overall?
Awesome. I told them, don't look at the shot clock. I mean, they fire shots from everywhere. That's part of guys' philosophy. I said, I think after the scoring first period, as bad as we played, I think when we track our statistics, I think we had 3 really good scoring chances, and they had 2 really good scoring chances. Shots are just shots plus minus are some of the biggest misleading statistics in the game. And you look at where they're coming from. That's kind of their philosophy, and we're a high percentage team. We don't, it said we don't play that way. And it's just contrast the 2 styles. And don't worry about looking up the shot chart, a shot clock. Just look at the scoreboard. That's the one that we're most concerned with.
Talk about Mitch's play in net, coach. Do you think you find this much success with your goaltending so early on this season?
We had confidence in him. Not having Yoki Ryan, I think Yoki Ryan could be the best defenseman in college hockey, and not having him for basically every game this year. He got hurt in the very first game, and not having him. So having all those new guys back on the blue line with 2 no goaltenders and looking at our defensive performance. So yes, I'm shocked with that many new guys and the goaltenders that are in there. But they played great. Great competition right now. Mitch is looking over his shoulder with Hayden. Hayden's a real good goaltender, but it'll be really nice when Yoki gets back. Trust me, I mean, he's a difference maker, and he was part of the reason we struggled early on with our power play, and he's on the ice 25, 26, 27 minutes a game. And so taking him out of the lineup, there was a little bit of adjustment, for a while, but the guys have done well.
It seems like it took you guys a while to get your offense going this season, and it seemed like that happened tonight too. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I mean, I think we just weren't doing things that make us successful. We weren't getting to the net enough. We weren't getting pucks down in the net, and we weren't playing strong. And I think those are our strengths. And I think in the first period, the shifts we did get the puck down low and kind of use our size and our strength. We had some chances, but we didn't really do that enough in the first period. I think we started to do it a little more. Our first goal was the deflection in front, and we started getting to the net more and started having more chances. I mean, obviously the first period wasn't anywhere close to what we'd like, and I think, thank God for Gilly, that we're still in the game, just down 1-0. After that, we just kind of got it going. We got that goal, and I think we had a little more confidence. Some of the young guys settled down a little bit, and we just started rolling from there.
Joel, what did you learn from last year's game against BU as a team, and when this game early on, like we not play early, of kind of sticking with it?
I think we just learned that the score doesn't matter. You need to play the same way all the time. I think even when we're down 1 goal, it doesn't matter. You just need to keep chipping away and playing the same way, or else we're not going to be successful. I mean, obviously last year was tough because we feel like we outplayed them pretty well. We outshot them, and we just didn't get the result we wanted. But luckily tonight we were able to get some pucks in the net, and Gilly played well back there, and we were able to come out with a win.
Just generally, what was the atmosphere like today?
It was amazing. Anytime you get to play in Madison Square Garden is a real treat, especially for the young guys who haven't been down here. We're lucky enough to have one game here every year, so it's definitely a memorable experience.
John, what's that like for you to be able to score not one, 2 goals here at MSG?
It's definitely a memorable experience, but I give credit to my line mates who made things happen out there. They're pretty easy to play with, and you know, just getting pucks deep, and they're strong down low, looking for tight, quick plays.
This was a transition easier this year playing MSG and been on the bench last year.
Yeah, I thought it was a great transition this year. You know, getting more ice time this year, and you know, I just stuck to my routine before and after the game. So, you know, I'm just keeping it simple and trying to help my defensemen out there and get pucks up to the forwards and let them go to work down the other end.
Mitch, how were you able to stay poised there in the first period? Starts off with pretty much an onslaught throughout the first period of shots on you.
Yeah, they're throwing them from everywhere, but you know, I just try to stay focused and, you know, fight through the traffic that was in front of me, and they got one there, and you know, I just try to stay composed and, you know, just worry about the next save. So it worked well for me tonight, and things went our way, and our defensemen played really well back there and communicating with me. So you know, I thought we did a great job.
What did you learn last year, sitting there watching Andy between the pipes, and now you getting that opportunity to do that today?
Yeah, he did well last year. You just learn little things in practice from Andy, and it really helps you out in the game when you actually get in this kind of situation. So I learned a lot from him, and you know, just stay calm out there and, you know, just do your thing. So I just tried to do that tonight, and it went the right way for us tonight.
Generally, the special teams, again, came huge today. Can you guys talk about the confidence level you guys have there? What it's like?
I think we only had one power play, but I think our PK has been really good as of late. I think we're all on the same page. We've been practicing a lot, and I think guys are just confident where their teammates are going to be as a unit. Gilly's getting out to stop the puck and making it easy on the defensemen to just have little bumps to the forwards. They know where they're going to be, and we're able to get it down. And I think we're making it tough for teams to get into the zone too, which helps because once teams get set up, it's kind of hard to defend. But I think we got a little scrambling where at some points today, but we were able to kind of just battle and keep the puck out of our net.
Joel, early on, their defense was doing a pretty good job of not allowing your guys to get offensive pressure in the offensive zone. What type of adjustments did the team make to be able to start doing that throughout the course of the game?
I think we're just trying to move pucks quick. We talked about having better center support and having our winger come across, and I think once we started doing that, we had a little more speed through the neutral zone. Their D kind of have a soft gap a lot of the time, so once we started getting some speed through the neutral zone, we were able to hit the weak side guy or get some pressure on their D and get our sticks down and create some turnovers.
Any other questions for the players?
What type of momentum now that you're stringing together some wins here? What type of boost does that provide to the team?
It's tremendous. We get a nice little streak hopefully going here, but it's back to work on Monday and practice this week. It's something that we've been working on, high tempo and hitting a lot more in practice, just full 100% effort day in and day out, and I think that transitions into the weekend.